Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to cut right through the massive, honestly chaotic noise of the AI opportunity boom. Everyone's talking about how AI is the new gold rush, right? There's literally a new tool launching every single day, and always someone swearing they found the ultimate shortcut to wealth. But let's be real, most of us just feel completely overwhelmed by the whole shebang. So, we're putting an end to that confusion by giving you a highly practical, objective tool to evaluate real business potential, the Clear Framework for Business.
Now, if you're feeling completely buried by endless lists of these perfect AI side hustles, but you haven't actually started any of them, listen to me. It's not your fault. You aren't lazy. You're just paralyzed by having way too many good options. You know the feeling. You find a great idea, save it, and then boom, you find another one the next day that sounds just as amazing. You're simply standing in front of 100 doors with no idea which one to actually open. It's a completely natural psychological trap, but hey, we're going to break out of it today. So here is our game plan. We're going to tackle the overwhelm of choice, introduce the Clear Framework for Business, test out AI content hustles, evaluate AI service hustles, and finally reveal the ultimate winner. Let's dive in.
Part 1. The overwhelm of choice.
Right now, the core problem isn't a lack of opportunity in the AI space. Actually, it's the exact opposite. Every single option sounds so promising that it leads to endless research and absolutely zero execution. You've got trading bots, faceless YouTube channels, AI copywriting, automated newsletters. The list literally never ends. But here's the harsh truth nobody wants to talk about. While you're stuck weighing options and watching the months fly by, the people who are winning simply stopped scrolling and they started building. They picked a lane. But to do that confidently, you really need a way to filter out the noise.
Which brings us to Part 2. Meet the Clear Framework. To escape this trap of endless scrolling, we have to stop asking, well, which hustles should I pick based on the current hype? Instead, we need to objectively grade them. This is where the Clear Framework for Business comes in. It breaks down into 5 core pillars. First up, C is for competition. Is the lane wide open, or are you knife fighting 1,000 other people on day one? L is for longevity. Is this a lasting business or just a passing trend? E is for effort. How steep is the learning curve to acquire the necessary skills? A is for autonomy. Does the business actually run without you taking a day off? And R is for recurring. Do you wake up on the first of the month at 0, or does your income automatically repeat? Each of these 5 pillars gets scored out of 5, meaning a truly flawless business model would score a perfect 25 out of 25.
Think of the Clear Framework as your definitive scorecard. It's a 25-point objective evaluation system used to rank the viability of business models and completely eliminate decision paralysis. By using this, we can strip away all the marketing hype and accurately test and rank the top AI opportunities available today.
Part 3. Testing AI content hustles.
First up on the chopping block, let's look at creative models, specifically AI user-generated content, or UGC, and AI short-form clipping. Both of these are heavily marketed right now as the perfect beginner side hustles. Now, the old way of doing this, you needed expensive studios, pricey cameras, charismatic actors, and endless hours of manual editing. But the AI way, it has completely destroyed that skill barrier. By using AI tools like Higgsfield for generating faces and locations for UGC, or Opus Clip for auto-clipping podcast in minutes, you can produce massive volume with almost zero technical background. Seriously, you don't even need to be on camera anymore. But let's look at their actual clear scores. AI UGC scores a 12, and AI clipping scores a 14. Here's the catch. Because the effort required is so incredibly low, literally anyone can do it, both of these spaces score terribly in the competition category. You're jumping into a heavily crowded lane, which usually drives prices straight to the bottom. On top of that, they both suffer heavily in autonomy. Why? Well, because it's a pure service. If you stop producing and delivering videos, your income completely stops. Both of these models essentially trap you into acting like a factory worker. Sure, the tools make the work way faster, but you're ultimately still trading your time for money. Every new client doesn't give you freedom. They just bring you more raw content that you have to process. The production line only moves if you keep feeding it your time and energy. All right, moving on to Part 4, evaluating AI service hustles. Let's pivot away from creative content for a second and look at operational business services, specifically building AI websites and setting up AI voice agents. You see, local businesses have very real, very expensive problems. They're either stuck with terrible, outdated manual code websites they paid $5,000 for, or they're quite literally losing thousands of dollars every time the phone rings because they're too busy to answer it.
By solving these tangible, high-value problems, you can charge much higher ticket prices. Instead of writing code for months, you can use AI builders like Lovable to instantly spin up websites. And instead of businesses missing calls, you can use tools like Vopi to build superhuman 24/7 AI voice receptionists that never sleep.
So how do they hold up to the framework? Websites pull a 15 out of 25. They score highly on longevity because businesses will always need websites, but they lack recurring revenue since it's usually a one-and-done project. Voice agents, on the other hand, pull ahead with a 16. What's really fascinating here is that voice agents score a 2 on effort because, let's face it, there's a steep learning curve to set them up. But that exact difficulty scares off the competition, earning it a solid 4 for competition. Plus, once it's set up, it handles calls completely autonomously. With that solid 16 out of 25, AI voice agents represent the absolute best of the service models we've looked at today. Yeah, it takes some real patience to learn how to configure the conversation flows and connect the calendars, but the payoff? Incredible leverage. Once that system is deeply integrated into a clinic or a law firm's daily operations, they're not going to turn it off. They'd feel the financial loss immediately, which makes your recurring monthly management fee incredibly sticky. And now, part 5, the ultimate winner revealed. There is one final model that entirely shatters the limitations of everything else we've talked about. It completely breaks the rules of traditional service businesses, AI digital products. In the past, creating an ebook, a course, or a specialized template meant you had to be a recognized expert, hire a production team, and spend months writing. Not anymore. Now the process is simple. Step 1, identify a real knowledge gap or problem. Step 2, use AI tools like Synthesize AI to research, structure, and draft the product. Step 3, plug into an existing distribution channel. And Step 4, sell the exact same product infinitely. You no longer need to be the expert, the AI builds the solution, and you just facilitate the sale. When we run AI digital products through the Clear framework for business, the results are staggering. They rack up massive points across the board, totaling a 20 out of 25. Notice how it achieves a flawless, perfect 5 out of 5 in autonomy. Why is that? Because whether you sell 1 copy or 10,000 copies, nothing about the product changes. There is absolutely zero marginal cost and zero extra labor required for the 1,000th sale compared to the very first one. This brilliantly illustrates exactly why digital products win the crown. Every other model we discussed today keeps you chained to your work. With service and content models, if you stop producing, your income stops. Digital products, however, introduce front-loaded leverage. You do the heavy lifting once to build it, you find your channel once, and the product literally sells while you sleep. It fundamentally breaks that brutal chain of exchanging your hours for dollars, rewarding you for leverage instead of just endless hard work. Looking at our complete master scorecard here, the landscape becomes crystal clear. You can see exactly where the pure service and content models bleed their points, mostly in extreme competition and a complete lack of autonomy. And you can see exactly why front-loaded digital assets absolutely dominate the board. They provide this perfect balance of manageable competition, low ongoing effort, and incredible independence. The data really speaks for itself, visualizing our clear winner. Now, it's important to note that all 5 of these are viable, proven ways to make real money right now. People are out there succeeding with all of them. But our goal wasn't just to find something that works. Our goal was to cut through the chaos and find the best option. And the numbers definitively prove that AI digital products offer the highest return on your overall business effort. At the end of the day, your ultimate goal shouldn't just be to find a new, slightly more efficient job disguised as a side hustle. If you're just using AI to do a service faster, you're still trading time for money. We want to break that chain. Your true goal should be to utilize this unprecedented technology to build robust assets that scale infinitely without your constant presence. Now that the chaos is organized and you have this objective data right in your hands, that decision paralysis should be completely gone. You aren't standing blindly in front of 100 doors anymore. You have the framework, and you know exactly what sits behind the most profitable door. The only thing left for you to do today is stop researching, step up, and take action. So, which door will you open?